Hi folks, and welcome to the Filmomilk channel. I'm in the forest again, and weather's been lovely today, and I've been on a little bimble looking for mushrooms, but not finding any that were good enough still. Lots of maggots in them this year. I don't know what happened, but I want to talk to you about a knife that I'm really coveting at the moment and really like at the moment, and it is an old-timer knife in the best sense of the word, with a bit of a local history, and this is it. This is called this is a version without this marlin spike or awl or what have you, is still available from Ottermesser Corporation, but this is a Gottlieb Hammersfahr, and it was produced in Solingen, which is actually some 30 kilometers away from where I'm living, and the corporation doesn't produce knives anymore. I don't think it does exist actually, and it's got that lamb's foot blade and this marlin spike scraper thingy, what have you. The knife, the blade, is made from carbon steel, as is the marlin spike, and it is pretty tough and keeps an edge really well. I assume that these are plumb scales, and look at these lovely bolsters. A bit corroded still. I'm currently working on the knife in order to bring back a little bit of luster, because I'm really loving it at the moment. And the blade's not too thin, but also not too thick. It's about 2.2 millimeters thick, and has a convex bevel, which is a bit tricky to sharpen if you're not experienced, but which really pays off in cutting ability through everything you could imagine. And what I want to do is want to try as I might get myself some hazel here, and I want to try as I might and carve something from it. The thing is, this knife is, I think, 100 years old or so, and there's no play, no actual play, no radial play, and it still works really great. What I want to do is I want to split this hazel wood I'm working with, and in order to do this, I'm working my edge into the headwood or what have you, which will also get rid of that branch there, which is actually a pain in the arse to carve. And maybe I find another section where I can work from, and putting this away for later. And look at that, there is some pith situation going on, and this is prone to make the wood split. Also, I don't need that big for what I intend to do. I don't know if it will work out, because it's a rather complex thingy, and but you can see the knife is just sailing through it. It's just, and this is dry hazel. This is not fresh hazel, and this is something I didn't want to hurt the tree. And because if you're cutting hazel, you should take care to take the bigger ones and leave the smaller ones to regrow, and that way you will enjoy your hazel for a really long time, and actually you will rejuvenate the virility of the tree. And no. Talk. I'm carving something like this, and now I'm putting that aside because I want to take out something else, an indispensable tool, and one I got for free because I found it on a junk heap on my return from Marburg, where my lovely woman lives. And I think a pencil or some sort of marking implement is, well, and I realized why it's been on the junk. Badly broken, but it could have worked out. Maybe I can persuade it to work. For now, what I want is a sharp tip. You can always modify your pencil, by the way, for the task at hand. It's I think to most of you guys that's a commonplace. I'm not I don't wanting to preach the saints, and just in case you didn't know, might come in helpful, because actually I was like all of my childhood I was a little bit reluctant to it's coming off too. It's maybe you should buy your pencils and not find them. But it could have worked out, and there might still be a little bit of life left in it, and being really careful here. Actually, this knife, back to the knife, because I think you are all eager to learn, was a sort of a regional knife. As you might have gathered by now, I live in a rural region of Germany, and the thing is that there was a lot of coal mining in my area, coal and iron mining, but primarily coal mining. And actually, it is disputable whether the mining industry started just around the corner. And there's a story of some shepherd grazing his sheep in the Muttental Valley in the community of Witten, which is round the corner, and he was like wanted to make himself a fire, and he encountered a little dwarf, and he saw that the dwarf had these black rocks, and used one to light his pipe, and went after the dwarf in order just to politely ask him, "Hey, what's the fuss all about these little black rocks?" But the dwarf wasn't too eager to talk to humans, which I can perfectly relate to, and people say I'm more of a dwarf than a. By the way, dwarf is not a polite thing to say, well, and dwarf scuttled away and lost some of those black rocks, and he collected some of them and tried as he might to set them on fire, which wasn't easy. But then he lit a fire finally with flint and steel and cooked his meal. And after the sheep had been gathered in a perch, and he cooked his meal, and maybe I imagine he had he warmed himself some milk or something, because coffee wasn't invented yet, or discovered yet. Sorry. And he was sitting there enjoying his meal, and he was like, well, that fire will go out by itself. But in the morning he still found really big embers, and so he discovered petrified coal. And so that's the legend, how it came to be. And there was the first mining industry in said Muttental Valley, at least here in the region. And after that, well, it's pretty much disputable whether or not that was a great thing, by the way. And there was an upshoot in the mining industry in this region, and you find these knives often in on eBay or something, and they are labeled as Wehrmacht knives. Well, it might not be wrong, don't know. I don't think they were an ordnance item, and people go arse over tit over the wrong things, I think. But that's my personal opinion. What I know, however, is that these were used in the mining industry, and they were actually given to the miners, and because from the early ages onwards, miners were required by law to carry a knife, because they needed to repair ladders on shift, or if they went down and saw that there was a ladder that needed repairing, it could pose a potential danger to other miners, so they were obliged to repair those. And there was always wood around, and for that exact purpose, and so they were required to carry a knife. At first it was a Sherpa. I made a video about that already, and but well, that's a fixed blade. And I think there was a dilemma in industrialization, and when the mining industry shot through the roof because of mass industrialization. Well, you are the owner of the manufacturer or the mine wasn't too comfortable with his workers, which were back then little more than slaves. And so that's a thing that maybe led to more restrictive regulations on what a miner had to carry, and actually there are documents on the absurdity of it all, because on the one hand miners were required to carry a knife, on the other hand they were not allowed to. So I think that's not nothing I can prove in any way, that this is how they try to convince people to carry a pocket knife. Also, the thing is, apart from the conspiracy theory, it's also more convenient to carry a pocket knife than a big chopper, and they were pretty much carried only for ceremonial purposes, and so it mustn't be that's I must be right with my commie conspiracy theories, and well, what I'm trying to do here is something more delicate. Good thing that the light is waning, so where would I be without challenges? But what I'm doing here is this, and what I want to do is I want to carve the outlines first, and please take note, don't apply a lot of force, because on one hand that's not good for your carving, and it also might not be too good for your hands if you slip. I always keep my my band-aids handy, just in case, and that's not a joke. They are always in the top compartment of my backpack, and I keep them as accessible as possible. But even if you do, you might want to be careful because it sucks. And what I want to do now is I carve away everything on the outside. Creating some sort of a relief. And as with a lot of things, and that's more of a reminder to myself, you might want to take your time, even if the light's fading. Because better safe than sorry, and so as I said, you follow. At first, you carve out the contour of the carving, and you can you can see I'm pretty concentrated, but well, I hope it's not too it's not too annoying that I'm pausing in mid-sentence. And what you are left with is something like this. Now you can refine this a little bit more and create some more of a stark contrast, like so. Now you want to carve the outline of the crossing strands of the carving a little bit more, and sort of the contours. And now I'm carving out the pieces that are recessed. So really carefully, so that you don't on one hand you don't ruin your carving, and on the other you don't cut yourself. And now I'm already getting eager. Always my problem. So, but I think certainly not the best example. It's just a practice piece anyway, but I think this knife is really great for something like this, and it's really great for a delicate carving due to the lambswood blade, and really like it at the moment, as I said, because and well, that's gonna hurt if I say this, but it's a pretty capable crafting knife, and well, if you look at that, if you can see this properly, needs a lot of refinement still. I could I will take this home and maybe use some sandpaper and a dedicated little calf's knit knife or something. But I think you get the point. And actually, if you complement something like this with a Swiss Army knife, well, you are in for a lot of versatility. And well, the thing is, I think there's a wild pig over there. If I want to, if you need a survival knife to defend yourself against wild pigs, well, that's not going to happen, as I already said in another video. And this is a light carrier, and this is a convenient carrier, and this is, apart from the conspiracy theory I shared, my Grams used to carry a really almost identical knife all of his life. And actually, I talked to an old hunter, and he was like, "Well, it's funny. The older I get, the shorter my knives get." And well, maybe he had a point, and because first thing is I'm getting a little bit too fond of my creature comforts, and I don't want to carry around some tactical pry bar anymore. And only that's just my fault. That's nothing that you need to do yourself or something. It's just my personal opinion and my personal creature comforts, as I said. But you know, one thing is that it doesn't freak people out if you carry a knife like this. And this is grandpa knife and what have you. But that's not my foremost reason. It's just. By the way, this will be also legal in the UK because the blade is under 76 millimeters long and is perfectly suitable for a lot of stuff. Well, it's not ideal for e.g. Cutting a big loaf of bread. That sucks. Well, that's. But hunting mushrooms, carving stuff, sitting on a stump and whittling stuff and enjoying a cup of tea or some coffee or anything. All that is pretty great with this. And you know, well, nice little piggy. That's how it is. I will stab you with my self-defense knife. No, that's not a self-defense knife at all. Well, I could throw it to its head or something. Actually, I'm not quite afraid of wild pigs. I'm cautious and I have a lot of respect for them. But on the other hand, I'm not here to cause any harm, and I'm talking to a box, and piggy maybe is just curious and will move away. I'm not offensive, and so, well, why should it attack me? And if it attacks me, I'm fucked anyway, because, well, I had the pleasure already, and that's not nothing you want to have. Stay out of the woods after dark if you don't want this. And I'm pretty confident that nothing will happen over here. It's just you can maybe hear the highway in the distance, which sucks, but it's not that I'm in the middle of the wild. By the way, I'm on private property over here, and I got permission to harvest some hazel sustainably. What I want to say is, you know, I was in my last video. I was like focus on the good things, and this is a good thing. This is a knife that invokes wonderful memories. It isn't the knife of my grandpa or my granduncle, who had a similar one, but this is what people carried, and they used those for everything. they used this knife has been is probably 100 years old. I don't know, and it has been in someone's pocket all the way. You can see the way the scales had looked, and I ground away a little bit of it in order not to mess with the rivets. And but you know, there's no play. There's nothing wrong with it. No radial play, no actual play. Well, there was a little bit of rust on it. Working on reducing it, and I will keep you updated how it looks. but these are pretty resilient and pretty durable and suitable for a lot of jobs. And if you can't carry a longer knife, or you don't want to carry a longer knife, but I think there are worse things that could happen to you than carrying one of these. And if you complement this with a Swiss Army knife, as I'm not tiring to say, not actually, I'm a little bit afraid that this might come across as advertisement, and it's getting pitch dark now, so apologies. And I will come to the close of the video now. But it's just, what should I say? It's even if you're on an overnighter, a Swiss Army knife will do most of the jobs you need, and this is, well, and if you complement this with this one, which is a little bit better for detail carving like this, and this is the reason why I carry this. And actually, I'm a little bit like a Navy SEAL. I carry 3 knives, and one is a little Swiss Army knife, one is this one, and one is a bigger Swiss Army knife. No, I also carry a Mora sometimes, and if I'm not concerned about the weight, I carry my toolkit in my backpack. But actually, I'm, as you know, I'm pretty reluctant to call what I do survival. First, because I know how survival feels, and it sucks. Because I am in a survival situation, and it really sucks. I don't want that. On the other hand, because there are people doing military survival, and they are professional instructors and what have you, and I'm not taking anything away from them. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to criticize those, because they really do a great job, and someone needs to teach the populace. It's not that I say there is no point in military survival or something, but because of focusing on the good things versus focusing on the bad things. And I like to call what I do slate in the context of going out into the woods. And I will make a video on that, because I used to call that skoganger, but well, skoganger is an altogether pretty negative term, and I will make a video on that too. And since it's going pitch dark now, I will leave you with that little project, and I hope you enjoyed the knife I showed you. Certainly one of my favorites at the moment. Really convenient carry, really light on you, and when I'm just going up the hill to do a bimble and looking for mushrooms or something, this is all I need actually. And so is what I wanted to say. And hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the knife, and I could inspire you. Maybe as usual, I would love you to best me and share this on your channels or what have you. Just try it out. It's not that it needs to be perfect. This isn't perfect, but certainly isn't perfect. So just want to encourage you to fire away and be creative out in the woods and enjoy what peace you can find in the woods, because that's necessary. That's really necessary in these times to keep one sane. So you know that old phrase, so I won't repeat it. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and take good care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.